Welcome to the Healthy and Wealthy and Wise podcast with global sales trainer and professional speaker, Lois Koffi. Each week, it is her goal to share inspiration and education for you to be, do, have the best health and wealth and wisdom for your life.
Well, hello. All right. It's Coach Lois Koffi here with a special edition of Healthy and Wealthy and Wise. It is January 27th, and today we are doing our 100th episode. And I'm so excited to have you guys here for this essentially 3-hour marathon. And I'm not going to lie, I was definitely nervous and stressed out about all this, but at the end of the day, I hope to inspire you today all about progress versus perfection. For you see, it was a year ago, I was working with our first guest here. In just about 15 minutes, I have our first guest joining us, and his name is Lofholm, and he is my sales success coach. And he inspired me in January of 2020 to lead with Lois, to have my own voice heard, be seen, be heard, and create an income. And I'm not going to lie, I was terrified, guys. I was shaking in my booties. I was just really not sure that anyone would want to listen to me. And I didn't know what I really was going to call this podcast. And, all of the limiting beliefs and things that hold me back from shining our light out there into the universe. And I do believe we all have a voice. I believe you have a voice. I believe you have value. I believe that you matter. Yay. Awesome. We have people here. I love it. Lots of eyeballs going on. And just give a shout out if you want to play. I'd love for you to comment #live if you are on the live, and #replay and where you are tuning in from. Hey, Valerie. Awesome. So in continuation of my story, a year ago, I didn't have a podcast. A year ago, I had a very specific vision for my year, but I didn't have a podcast on my list, right? So over the course of the next few months, my coach kept speaking and pouring into me and mirroring, putting the mirror up to me and saying that I was awesome and I deserved to share my message and all of the things that I've learned over the last 20 plus years of adulthood, right? As I always like to say, many people know I'm a Prince fan. So I always say, dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life, right? And we've all been through a lot in 2020. And so I came up with the name Healthy and Wealthy and Wise because to me, those are like the holy trinity, if you will, the three pillars, the three legs of the stool of life that, as you sit down on the stool and you feel grounded and you're like, if I have my health, life is good, right? If I have my wealth, and I'm not even talking about having a lot of money, it's more of an abundant philosophy, more of an abundant mindset, and abundance attracts abundance. You live coming from a place of love versus fear, abundance versus lack, and not scarcity, right? So it can obviously mean a lot of money, and maybe that's what wealth means to you, and that's fantastic. There's no right or wrong. And then, of course, wisdom to grow and learn, not just repeat the same mistakes over and over and over again, which would be the definition of insanity. So if you see value here today, I would go ahead and say, please hit the share button and share with your community. There's a few other reasons why you want to hit the share button and share with your community. If you guys know, we are giving away $10,000 worth of coaching prizes. That's right. I'm giving away $10,000 worth of coaching prizes. So there's going to be 2 grand prize winners, $5,000 each, and you got to play to win, right? This is like the lottery. However, I hope it's actually more fulfilling for your mind, your body, and your soul, right? You basically just hit the share button, like and comment, right? And hit the share button at least twice during 2 live interviews. And if you're on the replay, I am going to allow my friends in Europe, Africa, India. I've got viewers all over the world, guys, and I want everyone to have an opportunity. So I am going to have this contest go through midnight tonight, Pacific Standard Time. So that's like noon or 1:00 tomorrow in India for my friends in India, in Tokyo and Hong Kong and everyone that's Pakistan. I got viewers all over the world. And so till midnight tonight, you got a minimum comment and share on 2 live episodes of guests, not just here right now, but 2 guests. And I have guests coming every 15 minutes, guys. Keep my fingers crossed, my toes crossed that it all comes together back to back to back. Putting 10 guests together, kind of last minute, not going to lie. It was stressful. But the hope is that you comment, you share twice. You also got to leave a review on iTunes or on Podbean if you haven't already done so. On my actual podcast itself, leave a review and you can screenshot it and email it to me. So hopefully you've reviewed all of the rules. You have till midnight tonight to hit the share button twice, comment twice, 2 different interviews, leave that review, and of course, email that to me or Facebook Messenger to me, however you want to get it to me. And I'll announce the winner, the 2 winners tomorrow. All you be thrown into a hat. And let's just put it this way. If you do more comments and more shares over different interviews, I'll throw another name of yours in the hat. So I'm going to talk more, but I wanted to quickly introduce my tech guru. As I have said before, I wrote a book called No One Succeeds Alone, right? And that's so true when it comes to podcasting. I'm not technology savvy, guys. I don't have the perfect studio. I can see my kitchen right now from where I'm sitting. We're looking at moving into a new home and getting a studio, but I'm the example of just freaking do it. You know, it doesn't have to look perfect, right? But I couldn't do this without my tech guru, Eric. So Eric Beels of Diff Mix, I'm going to bring him on here. And Eric, I'd love for you just to say really quickly a little bit about you, your business, and what kind of an offer do you have for our guests today?
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me on here, Lois. So I've been doing video production and for about 10, 11 years now, and recently just got started doing podcasting, helping you out back in since June or July or whenever that month was that we started. And one thing I'll put out there. So through Lois's link, if anybody wants some podcasting help, I offer the first month for free. So the first 4 episodes are completely free. And actually, I'll throw in one extra thing on top of that. The following month, I'll provide a 20% discount off of that as well for the following month. So, but
wait, there's more. I love it. That is so awesome. Thank you. And Eric he's held my hand through all this and we've gone on many conversations and helping me with glitches and all that kind of stuff. So I will share his link here throughout the show, and I will email it to you guys. If you haven't already, you're going to want to register on my 100th episode page as well to be able to receive all of those free offers and gifts. And Eric, before you go, this is totally, did I have to hit record on my side on Riverside, or it's
No,
good?
You're good. I got it going for you. All good to go.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Eric. I'm going to let you go because I know you're behind the scenes helping some of my guests get ready. So thank you.
Perfect. Thanks.
All right, guys. So I know Karen, you said it's not letting you share. We are streaming right now on YouTube. We're streaming inside of the Healthy and Wealthy and Wise Facebook community. We're also streaming on Lois Koffi Enterprises. So I'm going to count those shares if it's inside of Healthy and Wealthy and Wise. Or if it's on Lois Koffi Enterprises. I'm going to be up late tonight, up early tomorrow to make sure I can count all of the shares and make sure I give you credit where credit's due and put you in the drawing for the 2 $5,000 coaching packages, which again is 6 months. 2 people are going to win 6 months worth of sales coaching. And if you know anything about me, I specialize in lead generation, lead gen mastery, and helping people increase sales results in less time, all the while, of course, going back to the name of this podcast, while finding ways for you to stay balanced in health, in your wealth, and in your wisdom. Because one of the things that I learned when I lost my health and my wealth and felt pretty crazy, pretty insane back in the Great Recession, I recognized that, there's more important things in life than just money. And then there was times where, we're really, really healthy, but we're broke, right? And sometimes we compromise our health for sales, that extra working 7 days a week mentality. And today our guests are going to be health experts, wealth experts, and of course, people that are going to be bringing great amounts of wisdom to you guys today. So I'm really, really excited to have you guys be a part of this. And if you haven't already done so, you can subscribe at healthyandwealthyandwise.com to receive all of the recordings of this, as well as future episodes, future guests, all of the good stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and see here if we have any awesome, great. And keep in mind, guys, I'm not going to be able to reply to all of you. And sure, Eric Beels, if you shared while he was talking, that's great. He was a surprise last minute guest, and so I'll make sure that I give to you guys his affiliate link or his link, so you can, if you're interested in starting a podcast, talk to him, talk to me. Another thing that I'm giving away today, as we get ready to welcome our first guest here pretty soon, is I have a 5-hour course that I'm going to be kicking off on February 15th. And it's a lead generation and sales mastery course. I'm actually going to be filming it, recording it, and then selling it for $497 on the back end. But for you being here today, I want you to go to this website right here, right now, and register for that free gift valued at $497 so that you too can learn how to build an audience, how to have your voice be out there on the World Wide Web in this new normal, right? Because you got to find ways to set yourself apart, build an audience, all the things that I didn't know what the heck I was doing a year ago. And so that's why I bring on a lot of experts who are really the best at what they do. And so we're going to be talking about automation today. We're going to be talking about sales training here shortly with Eric Lofholm. We're going to be having a closing meditation in just under 3 hours from now with Bhakti Ashaya, who's my meditation ascension guru. We're going to have Jenny Harkleroad to kick off the next hour. She's going to be talking about removing your subconscious blocks of your mind. If you haven't already seen it, I'm going to go ahead and show you just a reminder. This is our schedule, guys. This is our schedule. Let me get rid of that banner. These are all the great speakers that we have lined up and ready to inspire you over the next 3 hours. So just getting ready here. I can see him. He's behind the scenes, about ready to join us. I do have our first speaker, Eric Beels, is with my podcast audio technology. And the next person that we have is coming on. His name is Eric Lofholm. Many of you know him, love him. He's the one who actually inspired me to go out and just do a podcast. I actually became a coaching client of his through his podcast. And I was like, you know what? That's a really good idea. I think I should start a podcast, right? Because I'm a mom. I have so much going on, juggling, homeschooling, all of the things. I needed to have my voice out there. And I wanted to inspire and educate people for free, right? That's one of the great things about having a podcast. So make sure you guys get ready to take copious notes, because each guest is going to give you some inspiration, hope, and really help you have your best 2021, your best year ever. That's what I want for you. That's what I see for you. If you see it with your third eye, your vision, your intuition, anything is possible. And that's how this podcast came to be. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to go ahead. Eric, you look like you're ready. So I'm going to go ahead and bring you on. Okay, good. Yay! Woohoo! Everybody cheer loud for Eric Lofholm. I'm so excited. How are you today, Eric?
Lois, I'm doing great. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. Well, you're kicking us off. I shared already a little bit about you and how much you mean to me and how much you impacted my 2020. So I thought it was perfect that you get to be my first guest and bringing incredible value. So thanks so much. I know your schedule is tight, so I'm so glad I could get you in today. I shared a little bit about you, how you impacted me, inspired me last year. I was a part of your mastermind, have been following you for 13 years. And I tell people this story that I wish I would have never stopped following you because I lost touch with you. And I was like, oh man, where could I be today if I would have, stayed connected to Eric Lofholm and his greatness. But I know everything happens for a reason, and you came back into my world at the perfect time. And I want you to go ahead and share, just maybe in 2 minutes or less, a little bit more about your background. And then I have a big question to ask you to answer for our listeners today.
Sure. Well, I've been in commission sales since 1992. And I had a 3-year run working for Tony Robbins, got really inspired to start my own training company. So in 1999, I started Eric Lofholm International. We're a global sales training organization. Our mission is to help people make more sales. We do most of that virtually. So we work with professionals like all of you watching this all over the world to really help you with that sales muscle, that sales skill set. So that's a little bit about me.
I love it. And you do it so well. So what is your number one bit of advice for for my healthy and wealthy and wise community to live their best life in 2021?
That's a great question. And I really like the question. And I'm going to tell all of you something that I do. And this was inspired by my father and by Tony Robbins. And so my dad is a pharmacist. He's basically retired now. But he had a 50-year run in pharmacy. If you work a full-time year, it's 40 hours times 50 weeks. That's 2,000 hours. So just think to yourself, 2,000 hours is a full-time year. My dad had a 50-year run. He did 100,000 hours in one profession. Very few people ever do that. And so my dad planted his flag. Now, when I worked for Tony Robbins, somebody asked Tony, they were telling Tony, I got my goal set, Tony. I did what you told me to do. I got my goal set for the next year. And Tony acknowledged them like, that's awesome. Great job. And they said to Tony, how far out do you set your goals? And Tony said, I set my goals in decades. And I never forgot that. And I've asked my audiences many times, how far out do you think? Most people in my experience have asked this of thousands of people all over the world. How far out do you set your goals? Most people say 5 years or less. So my big golden nugget for you guys is to think in decades. That's one concept. And then have a vision for your future and then bring those two things together. So along the lines of Lois's message for you and my message, which would be have a vision for your career. So what does that look like? How many clients do you want to get? Not just this year. How many clients do you want to get in the future? How much longer do you plan on doing what you're doing? Have a vision for the type of income that you want to make. Have a vision for your team. Have a vision for the products you want to create, if that's something that you do in your business. And then have a vision for your finances. So set a lifetime net worth goal. And in my experience, most people don't do that. Most people do not have a clear picture of what they want their life to look like financially in their 70s. So they're not investing now what they could financially because they're only thinking out 5 years or less. So if you think, where do I want my finances to be? You create a vision for your finances. So a vision for your career, a vision for your finances, and then a vision for your health. I think most people, when they think about their health, they look down at the scale. How much do I weigh? They look in the mirror. What do I physically look like? And that drives a lot of their health decisions. I would encourage you to look at, what do you want your health to be like in your 70s? you're probably not going to care so much about the scale or what you look like in the mirror. Our looks, of course, fade for all of us as we get older. You're going to want probably your body to be able to move, right? So you can be active. And you're going to want your mind to be clear. So what are the decisions that you can make today to create that? It's not just your health now. It's your health now, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, all the way into your 70s and hopefully your 80s, maybe even your 90s, maybe even break the 100-year mark. So it's to think in decades, have a long-term vision for your life. And if you'll do this and then do what Earl Nightingale said, we become what we think about. That's the strangest secret. You can find that one on YouTube. Earl Nightingale, we become what we think about. So if you think about your vision for the future, your career, your finances, and your health, and then what I say is, and then write it down. Write it down. Write down what you want that vision to be. And then you work with experts like Lois to help you pull that result into reality. And if you do those couple of ideas I just shared with you, that can help you have a great 2021.
That's so awesome. And I know you inspired me to think much bigger, much faster. I would have never thought about thinking in decades, really, quite honestly. I was just 1 year, maybe 3 years. I have a question for you, because there's a lot of people that I've worked with, and like you, I've coached thousands of people, but one of the things that always would kind of surprise me and kind of trip me up a little bit, Eric, I'd love your thoughts. There are so many people out there that can't even think about, what they want to create, 3-year plan, 5-year plan, let alone obviously a decade plan. And I know you kind of touched on that, but is there any other hidden elements there to help people break through that and do it anyway and think bigger, faster?
Well, success is a team sport. And so we all have natural gifts and talents. Some of us are organized, and some are good with our hands, and some are good with technology, and some have compassion, right? We all have our gifts and talents, and not everybody has the gift of vision. So have somebody on your team that's good with vision, right? And so partner with them, get them to coach you, inspire you, motivate you, mastermind with you, so you can have them share with you what they see for you in your vision. If you don't feel that you're especially good in that particular skill set, like when it comes to finances, this is what financial advisors do. They do that for a living. Health coaches, that's what they do for a living, right? And so success is a team sport, and you want to have team. You don't want to be by yourself. And, I'm a former cook at McDonald's, college dropout, and I built an international training company in large part because of team and having other people on my team that can help me.
Awesome. You're dropping so much. I'm curious for you. And I know this is also perfectly timed. I think it's, again, divine timing that my 100th episode happened to be the week when all of the people, not all, 80% of the people give up on their New Year's resolutions. So what are your thoughts in telling people, about that New Year's resolutions thinking, which in theory is annualized, right? They're thinking, this is my year, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to finally lose the weight, or I'm going to whatever. Do you have any advice for those people who are like already done? Like they're already like, it's just too hard next year, right? What's your advice?
Oh, a couple things. One is what comes to mind is the great Jim Rohn quote. It's easy to pay the price when the promise is clear. It's easy to pay the price when the promise is clear. When it comes to your career or your fitness or whatever your New Year's resolutions are, it's not really about a resolution. It's about a shift in your beingness, right? It's about, I just make healthier choices in life, right? I'm more productive with my business. It's just a beingness conversation as opposed to a resolution. And the other piece that I'll share with you is when you have a long-term vision. When I was 28, I'm 50 now. At 28, I said, I want to become the Zig Ziglar of my generation. And like my father, I planted my flag. So I didn't need any external motivation. And it wasn't a New Year's resolution. It wasn't even a day-to-day goal. It's, this is who I am. My flag is planted and I'm committed. And now I'm going to show up as that. And here we are, 20 plus years later. And I built an international training company from scratch, in large part due to vision, which is what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah. And you're so resilient. I mean, I know a lot of your personal story and what you've gone through and grown through and evolved into. And I'm so grateful to call you my mentor and my friend. Do you have a free gift to share with folks today, or how do people find you past this call today?
Yeah, well, I thought, I have a 22-minute piece of content on what I covered in the very beginning about vision. And it's one of the 5 best pieces of content I've ever created. And I've done over 1,000 pieces of content. So do I just tell them, Lois, to contact me, or how do you want me to get them the content?
Yeah. Well, how about this? If you have a link that you can send to me, and then I'll email it out to everyone, that would be awesome.
Yeah. So I'm going to provide this link to Lois, and it's 22 minutes of my best content. It's in one of my paid memberships, but I'm going to give you guys access for free because you're here. And it really can speak to you about vision and be helpful for you. As far as finding me, I'm the only Eric Lofholm in the world. So if you Google Eric Lofholm, you'll find me. I'm on all the social medias. I love social media, and I'd love to connect with you guys on whatever your favorite social media platform is: YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. But just Google my name, and that's where you can find me.
That's awesome. And just so you guys know too, I'm going to give you a shout out to your book, The System, and your sales scripts book. One of the things that Eric really inspired me was to really think about sales differently. And so he has two books. I hope this is okay, Eric, that I'm saying this. Sure. They're still available. I should have checked with you first, but if you go to loiskoffi.com/resources, go to the personal development section, guys, and Eric's all over it. In fact, I'll maybe be adding more of Eric's stuff there this year. So go to loiskoffi.com/resources, and I will make sure that you also get his 22 minute video as well. And the link before you go, Eric, is there anything else you want to add of value to our community today?
Well, my main area of expertise is selling. And a lot of people have resistance to sales. They think, well, I'm not good at sales. I don't like sales. And if any of you have an uncomfortableness with selling, it's totally normal. And what I want you to know is that mindsets are not fixed. They're flexible. So that means that if you think today I'm not good at sales, I get that. And you can become good at sales. You can become great at sales. You can potentially master selling. It's a muscle, just like lifting weights at the gym. Okay. It's a skill set that can be learned. Okay. I was a bottom producer, and then I became a top producer, and ultimately I mastered sales because it's a skill set that I discovered I could learn. Right? You can learn it too. So I just want to give you that hope. Lois used that word in the beginning. Hope and encouragement to know you can become good, great, or master selling if you have the desire to do so.
Awesome. Wonderful. Well, guys, give Eric some love. Comment down below. What did you like best about what he shared? Eric, I know you probably can't see all the comments, but there was a lot of comments coming in. So thank you so much for being here today and for bringing amazing value. Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe, refer a friend, and please drop me a rating or a review. If you do that, I'll reward you with a free 20-minute free coaching session on crafting your journey to your best self. Reach out to me at loiskoffi.com to claim your 20-minute slot. Until next time, be healthy, wealthy, and wise.